I'm tired. Hello Pixie Gunners, humans, mongrels and all. Even though most of you won't even see this video. I don't upload a lot. Because as you can see, I'm lazy. But I'm trying to be active. I'm slowly, oh so slowly getting there. I swear. Right now, I'll be reviewing the PGA lottery. I really need to get used to talking. Yes, I already know that people have already reviewed the guns. Yes, I know I'm late to the party. And yes, I know my mic sucks. Even my editing skills are trash. But hey, shut up. I'm poor and I don't even own a mic. And so my phone will do for now. And it took me 2 weeks and a day to find them out. Rigged, I tell ya. Since these guns have been reviewed many times, I've placed it on myself to give extra facts, details, and possible lore to these guns. Yeah, I'm gonna record my voice on this table. I'll also give references and personal opinions on these guns too. But I won't be reviewing other guns obtainable in the lottery. Because I may already have the guns or yet to obtain them. Because I sure am not gonna farm for more. And I'm only gonna review the guns I have when I made the script, so the backup from the battle pass is gonna have to wait for another video. And for people who don't know, PGA stands for Protect, Gain, and Annihilate, which is a reference to the SCP Foundation, Secure, Contain, Protect. Sometimes I like to call it the Pixagon Anomaly, because it's also an acronym for PGA. Okay, let's start. Before we start with the actual guns, you first need to know the classes. Much like the SCP Foundation, it possesses 3 main classes, Safe, Beta, and Alpha, similar to Safe, Euclid, and Keter, so we can assume it works the same. Safe means that it can easily be contained or left alone. Even though it's called safe, the item may still be harmful. Beta can have the object do things at times, but we can't really say what. They are somewhat dangerous. Alpha are usually very dangerous, as seen with its red color. You can contain them, but not forever. They will eventually escape, and they will cause chaos around them. There are a few PGAs that aren't in the set, and most of them don't have their classes labeled. This being a pet, a skin shovel, a map, and a few monsters. The PGA-07 is a shovel exclusive item. Like all shovels, these decorative items are exclusive to Battle Royale. I usually don't play Battle Royale nor do the missions, because it lags my game out a lot and I generally suck at it. The only times I do play Battle Royale is either because the missions are easy or it's one of the Elite 6 missions. This shovel is a golden mirror on a stick, with the golden skull on the top middle of it. The reflection is a frowning dark, ghostly figure, probably pissed because you're using the mirror to smack other people. The only reference I can find for this one is Bloody Mary. You know, the one that you were told when you were a kid. The lore for most anomalies like this is a guy dies and is associated with the mirror, and it's now the source of its haunting. It doesn't have any class identification on it, so I'll place it in either safe or beta. Safe because it's a mirror, where's it gonna go? And beta is because it might have properties we're not yet familiar with, like SCP-035, the positive mask. Every update comes with a new pet, and PGA-08 is no exception. PGA-08 is a mythical type pet called the statue that wants to snap your neck but can't because of its small size. So instead, the creature screeches that does an area damage and a slow. Its design is based off of SCP-113 but miniaturized, wearing a farmer's outfit with the ability to move in sight. And for people who live like Patrick the Star, SCP-173, called the Sculpture, is a sculpture made out of concrete and rebar. It possesses some spray paint and can only move out of vision, and it's relatively fast. All that for a nice neck snap. SCP-173 has the ability to create feces and multiply. It once took a whole nuke just to destroy most of these things. Because of the gap difference between PGA-08 and SCP-173, all I can think of is that PGA-08 is an alternate version of SCP-173. Sadly, we lack info, so I can't really say much. Because SCP-173 is a Euclid class, I'm putting PGA-08 as a beta class, because it makes sense and that we lack any class identification for the statue. The giant bat is a creature that spawns in the new Slender forest. It's near the tents and it's inside the cave with the mushrooms. Its glider is similar to design and it appeared in the Season 9 Battle Pass. Near it is a cave where the werewolf would come out at times. The wolf is a summertime battle pass in the Elite 6 challenge. I actually bought a battle pass but never did the challenges, even though I should have. I guess I like Season 9's melee weapon challenge better, or because I'm tired of the raccoon spammers. I broke 3 pencils while writing. You may be wondering why I'm mentioning these two when they don't have a PGA. It's because since the agents came here, they probably saw them and have a fault for them that we didn't get to see. This is especially true because next to Agent P, you can see a drop file of Slenderman being labeled Alpha. Slenderman appears near the star-shaped candles and the secret base, and disappears when you get too close. Speaking of which, let's talk about the Slender first. The Slender Force was first added in the 2.0.0 update, and was level 7 of the pixelated world. The monsters available was the bear, Slender Devil, and Slender Zombie. The old boss was just a tanky Slender Zombie with bloody hands. It was soon reworked to be Slender Man with tentacles, statics, and teleportation. The map was removed from multiplayer but was added back in 18.0.0 update. The map was large with a tiny maze, cryptic trees, police car, and multiple sprinter vans. One tiny information is that there are more sprinter vans in the loading screen than there is in the map. Due to its large size, it can be hard to find the monsters sometimes. The old map is still available in campaign but was reworked in PGA update. The police car was replaced with the PGA van and there were less converted vans, with one of them leading to the underground containing the lottery weapons. And the map is much smaller too. The candle still exists, with Slenderman being nearby. He disappears upon getting too close. Near them is a secret entrance which is hard to enter without a proper gun. Upon entering, a second gate opens, revealing another gate that says access denied. It's because they're trying to hide the other PGAs and you're now one of the scientists. Well, they did a pretty bad job at hiding the place because players are going crazy at the site. As stated before, you can find the giant bat and the werewolf near the tents in their own respective caves. The map's rework was phenomenal and the rework was also needed for multiplayer, just to find players much easier. Lore-wise, after the PGA found the place, they probably tried to contain the anomalies in there, alongside some of the others that they found. Glitches aside, the restricted area may just be the containment for PGA-1013 and some other anomalies. And finally, seeing Agent P sleeping on his job gives him more personality than the other skins. In the 3.0.0 update, Silent Skull was added, which was a reference to Silent Hill. It was the final level in the pixelated world. In the PGA update, a few new things was added. Luckily enough, it didn't change the gameplay too much. Unlike Slender Forest, the rework was also available in campaign. The infected student and nurse, Pyramid Head Minion, and injured Splinter was available here. The original boss was called the Pyramid Head but was changed to a ranged monster called the Rider, surrounded by injured splinters. In multiplayer is one of the most famous maps, usually having 5 green player bar in the map selection menu. Most spammers and pro players play on the map. Its narrow hallway makes it perfect for long range one-shots, and small space environment calls heavy weapons still shall kill after kill. The minor changes are the threat level Alpha sign in the middle of the map and the PGA equipment in the red room. The fact that it's class Alpha means that the whole school is a threat, so that's probably why they left their equipments there. The school is probably the PGA and the monsters are the subject created by the PGA. So it'll probably go with PGA-numbers-letter, because the numbers will represent the PGA and the letters will represent the things created by the PGA. Since the campaign has the rework of Silent School but not Slender Forest, the theory is that the PGA were investigating the school before the forest, so the Slender Forest was still unseen by them. I can't think of any other leads, so that's all I have. Blockmart was added in the 8.2.1 update but was themed PGA in the 18.2.0. The only changes are the things near the register, PGA van, and PGA-1013 with new advertised guns. The place is blocked off by spiked fence but I cannot think of any theories or lores in this map. The other 2 maps are more Halloween based, with the circus having a PGA van outside the map. Before I can go into the initial guns, currently none of the guns have a bio that I can use as reference. The PGA-01 Living Rifle is a primary that sorta looks like the Ranger Rifle but being infected by a purple flash with a better scope. Flash consumes the scope, near the barrel, ammo, and a bit of the back of the gun. It possesses a jaw that drools with 3 teeth, 1 eye on each side, and 5 cyan-like lying bulbs. Its bullets are purple. This may be because the flesh infected the bullets, but it has a regular reload. It has a mythical efficiency, although efficiency tends to not make a lot of sense. It has a fire rate of 98 with 35 capacity with 105 at start and 140 at max. It has a mobility of 65 and a fixed delay. Its attributes are disable jump, poison, and sports that does damage sphere. The damage sphere takes 15 to 17 hits to kill someone, and is a 4x zoom with a white box and a small red box with a red dot in the middle of it. The gun does a 5 to 8 headshot and 7 to 10 body shot. In combat, it's decent against players and helps if they are jumping too much. Although harder players will probably kill you before you can kill them. But disable jump is useless against monsters because they don't jump. And finally, the weapon classification is safe. The spores that spawn around you probably came from the bulbs. Even though it's called safe, all that means that it's easy to contain. As seen, the spores are harmful. It can damage your lungs when inhaled. It's possible it only turns guns into living guns, but it might also be flesh that floats and sticks onto something and slowly grows on it. The name is similar to SCP-127, the living gun, which is the gun that has bones, flesh, and organs with a unremovable clip that stores teeth. Yes, it can shoot the teeth, and yes, they grow back. If it's similar to what I described earlier, then its property is similar to SCP-610, the flesh that hates. It's an infection that first feels itchy but causes your body to deform into a monstrosity. It's disgusting and horrific. Okay, I cannot lie, I kinda want to know what the gun tastes like. The PGA-02 Gates is an alpha class backup that has a cryptid artifact with a blazing eye with 2 plates around it, with a thorn-shaped piece floating on top of the artifact. The weapon reminds me of the Eye of Sauron from Lord of the Rings, something that the fire orb also resembles. Then again, it may be a reference that I don't know about. It has a mythical efficiency, a fire rate of 67 if you decide to fully charge it, and the max ammo is 430 and start with 330, and the weapon says it has a capacity of 100, which is a lie because it actually has 130. And finally, it has a mobility of 75. The weapon has a takeout delay, and you reload by pulling the hovering object downward. The weapon is a charge shot with a low area damage, which it creates a portal if fully charged. The charge consumes a total of 20 ammo and 2 per shot. It's a 5-shot headshot and an 8-shot body shot, but if fully charged, it's a 1-shot to the head and a 1 to 2 shot to the body. The charge is relatively fast, and while charging, the blade gets closer to the eye and shoots a red ball with a black trail. The wiki said they cannot do self-inflicted damage, but it's only true if you don't put your face to the wall and fire. You won't be using teleportation much in matches due to you-know-what, and it's useless in raids, but you can use it in capture, climate, or escort if you are yet to have a Kool-Aid type gun, which I highly doubt because weapons like these don't come back in ages due to the constant flow of guns every single update. Although it has a travel time, it's very good against less mobile players, but gets overshadowed by stronger cast spam type backups and a polysoccer gun, and because the weapons are lottery weapons, and lottery weapons are usually harder to get, without constantly farming, that is. The PGA-03 Screaming Saw is a beta class chainsaw that has a saw chain hanging from the broken bar. The ghost takes shape of what the saw chain and bar would have looked like if it wasn't broken. The ghost is bonded to the saw, probably due to some past event, allowing it to be able to enter and exit the saw at will. And killing players is the only way you can keep it from going berserk. Basically, it wants blood. The weapon has a mythical efficiency. Its attack is 76, but has a short delay before the initial damage like all melee. And like the name, it makes the sound of a screaming saw. Finally, it has a mobility of 85, which is nothing out of the ordinary. Although it has a chainsaw attribute, it's just another way to say melee. Unless it's that melee exoskeleton. The chainsaw attribute only ever has an effect on guns. The chainsaw's other attributes is disable jump and weakening. They can help you after the first hit to prevent them from jumping away and nor instantly you so you can kill them on your second hit. But a lot of the times they will still kill you before you can kill them. That is if they're not startled enough to miss their shot when you're running at them like a maniac. The weapon has a takeout delay and a 1 shot to the head and 1 to 2 shot to the body with a short range. Gameplay wise, you may have some trouble catching up to players at times, but really strong against cast spammers and spammers. His short range and slow swing can be a problem, so astral blade is necessary and shift is optional if you want a faster swing, but you lose the bloodthirst ability. In knife party, you can dish out a few kills if you're careful enough against weapons like the healing staff or triple bite. But the weapon is beaten by its competitor, the Goo Substance Scythe. Although it does have a slightly less damage, the poison and area damage makes it above it. The Screaming Chainsaw is actually one of the reasons why I farmed the event in the first place. Something about the melee being the most chainsaw-like chainsaw compared to other chainsaw type weapons. Basically, it resembles the horror movie type chainsaw the most. The PGA-04 Doll appears to look like Annabelle, but it also looks like a specific skin. This special weapon is a doll inside a futuristic cage, classified as Alpha. It has a takeout delay with a reloading being you taking the doll out of the cage. The doll's eyes proceeds to glow just so you can put the doll back into the cage. Pixelgun has a lot of creepy moments, but this has been one of the scariest things I've seen. It has a mythical efficiency, a mobility of 55 and a fire rate of 74. You have 8 shots, you start with 26 ammo and max out at 44. It has piercing shot, burning and curse, but since the game can only show 3 attributes, its 4th attribute is rocket. Its projectile is its head with the light glowing from the ponytail and under its head. Upon contact with an object, it makes a small explosion that can cause self-harm. Without the curse, it's a 2 to 3 shot, but with the curse, it's still a 2 to 3 shot. Not much of a difference. Looking at some of its animation, when you take out the doll, it tries to attack you, but when you put it back in, it looks back at you with hatred. The cage itself is pointless because it can easily teleport itself out. I mean, I did say it's an elf class. Hell, I didn't even need to explain that the doll is dangerous. In game, you still get bullied by your usual, but in less chaotic maps, you may dish out a few kills here and there. But not too much if you can't predict your opponent's move with its fast travel time. To me, it's more of a pickup when I decide to grind the lottery. It's not too weak or overpowered, it's just a well-balanced weapon, so good job on them. The PGA-05 Slender Touch is an alpha class object obviously based off of Slenderman. It takes the appearance of a rifle with a very short barrel with a flashlight strapped on. The misty static makes up the stock, scope, and the rest of the barrel. They disappear upon reloading. Tentacle appears to hold the scope but only appears on the barrel when shooting. This sniper has a mythical efficiency, a fire rate of 79, and a mobility of 55. You have 7 shots, your ammo starts at 21 and max out at 35. But when you pull the barrel downward, you appear to be rolling 3 of the 7 total bullets. Logic wise, it doesn't make any sense, but animation wise, it does. If it doesn't one-shot the body, then it'll leave them with a bit of health left. making it a 1 to 2 shot body shot and a 1 shot headshot. The weapon does not have a delay, making it available for a cat spam. However, it does have an input and output delay. With the blind and gadget blocker, it can give you some time to finish them off, but currently has a glitch of having the blindness of the Sun Tower pistol. You can also confuse enemies with the wall break ability, blinding them from out of nowhere. Killed targets are still blinded for a bit after respawning, and although not stated, it has a scope of ×10. The weapon is great because it can compete against other snipers. Its attributes can leave players stunned, and small hitbox may take some time to master, unless that is you are already a pro or cat spammer. The design looks amazing, being one of the reasons why I grinded the event. Overall, it's a cool and powerful weapon, and the essence of Slender may be the reason why it's an alpha class. As always, another powerful heavy. PGA-06 TV is a retro TV with an antenna and a joystick on each side. The back is opened up and it may flicker between the blue ring and the girl who is called Samara Morgan, for those who don't know. Samara Morgan, is that how you say the name? I don't know. In some animation, her head may pop out of the TV just a little. She has the takeout delay, and her reload is taking one of the retro tubes out of the back and putting it back in. Yes, I had to look up what the parts are. She's classified beta, so she must be doing something. Her efficiency is mythical with a fire rate of 71 and a mobility of 50. You have 6 shots, starting with 12 and maxing out at 30. Just like the Ice Club, it has the area damage, consecutive explosions, and slowness. The consecutive explosion shows the girl in 3 spots in front of you, and like the Ice Club, it can kill through walls. To be more specific, it's the Ice Club in its prime. The Ice Club is the 3-shot now. The consecutive explosion is a bit odd, because the effect looks grounded, so you expect a ground level hitbox. But nope, the hitbox extends below and far above you, allowing you to kill players in range just by looking at their direction. The only exception to the ground level effect is the Knight's Axe. You can make some stupid plays with it, it's just that powerful. In matches you are guaranteed to get a lot of kills, you're also guaranteed to have players call you trash. Although it may be nerfed in the future, it's a really fun weapon to use unless you're in the receiving end. With all the powerful heavy weapons, this weapon still competes at a certain extent. I gotta say, I have more theories on the living rifle than the other weapons. Although not part of the lottery, I managed to get it, so I'm gonna review it. The Goo Substance Scythe is a machine attached to the arm. Holding in place is the PGA-1013, simply called Goo. The machine strings out holding a sickle. In total it has 10 eyes and 5 on each side. The weapon is a melee with a mythical efficiency, an attack of 76 and a mobility of 85, as well as having a melee area damage and poison. In terms of hit, it's a 1-shot headshot and a 1 to 2 shot body shot with the poison finishing them off at times. The area damage of this weapon is a bit odd. I compare this weapon to the chipping whip because the area damage is in front of you and not around you like traditional area damage melees. But the effects aren't there, as well as being a single target. In spite of that, it shouldn't be underestimated. Because the area damage is in front of you, Astro Blade can enhance the hitbox even further. When I tried it out on Polygon, it was able to hit players 6 blocks away. Not just that, but the crosshair doesn't need to be on them. You can kill players if they are in range and on screen. You don't even need to look at them to kill them, it's that broken. But one thing to note, the hitbox follows where your melee is facing. Even though the hitbox reaches above your crosshair, if you face too far down it won't hit. But that's why the melee is so powerful. It can counter area damage melee better than actual area damage melee to a certain extent. Single target was needed because if it was multi-target, it will be more broken than it already is. 2 more information is that it can headshot and it has a takeout delay. When it comes to lore, I'll be explaining it with the Goo. With the second part of the update coming when I was still writing the script, it gave us more information about the Goo called PGA-1013. This thing can be found in the new incident map, parts of Battle Royale, Blockmart, and the loading screen. Goo is an alpha and end of the world class monster. He may have been responsible for the destroyed Megapolis. The first one we see is kaiju sized, with 3 eyes, 4 arms, and multiple tentacles, destroying the city. The second one is a person overtaken by the Goo in the object PGA-1013 Goo set. There may have been an attempt to weaponize the Goo, although successful it caused multiple containment breach and hosting a human in the facility. The final one is the mecha controlled by the Goo on the second update. This can be seen in the incident map on the monster hunting. The map may have been the denied access in the Slender forest. The Goo can even be seen around the facility out of containment. They may have tried to use the mecha to stop the Goo, but it managed to use it instead. From what I've seen, some of its other abilities may have been mass reproduction, corruption, replication as seen with it making a portal in the incident map, and the ability to shape its body. At the moment, a lot of the story comes from the brawl, so I might read the story. So that's what I have on this update. Knowing the time I've spent, it may be out on November. I've broken many pencils in this and I have school but still trying to be active. I don't know if other pixel gun players do this, but I've spent a lot for this video. I shrunk out as much lore as I can think of, even though it might have just been the maps and the Goo. I used a lot of words like maybe because I can't be too sure. But that's the end of the video and I hope you have a good day.